Around 1200 BCE, the Mediterranean thrived. Empires rose with shining palaces, bustling ports, and trade networks stretching from Greece to Egypt. But a shadow approached from the sea, a force the world had never seen before. They would reshape history and vanish without a trace.
Let's get ready! The sea people are destroying our villages!
Known only from Egyptian records as the Sea Peoples, they were a confederation of warriors, sailors, and raiders. Their origins remain a mystery. Were they displaced Greeks, refugees from Anatolia, or travelers from the central Mediterranean? Historians debate, but no one knows for sure. And perhaps that is part of their legend.
Follow me! Let us destroy them all!
Why did they strike so fiercely? Some say famine drove them. Others suggest collapsing kingdoms pushed them into the seas. Trade was failing, cities were vulnerable, and they seized the moment. They were survivors, warriors, and pioneers all in one. Courageous enough to sail into the unknown, powerful enough to topple empires.
What is this I am hearing? Who are these sea people? My lord, they are invaders from the sea, destroying all in their path. Invaders?
Most of what we know comes from Egypt. Pharaoh Ramesses III etched their raids into stone at Medinet Habu. Ships pouring onto the Nile Delta. Warriors storming the shores, chaos, fire, and smoke. Yet even in the face of such ferocity, Egypt held its ground, but at what cost?
The strangers from the sea have come. Prepare yourself up!
Farther north, the Hittite Empire could not withstand them. Hattusa, the capital, burned. Ugarit fell completely and would never rise again. The Sea People swept across Anatolia, leaving nothing but ruins in their wake. Few had the courage to resist them.
The fire spread through Pylos, and the enemy stands at our gates.
In Greece, the Mycenaean palaces crumbled. Pylos and Tyrans were destroyed. Knossos faced disruption. Palaces abandoned, people scattered, the Greek Dark Ages began. The Sea People struck with the skill of seasoned sailors and the bravery of those who feared nothing.
The sea has betrayed us. Strangers arise with fire and steel. Ugarit burns before my eyes.
Along the Levanten coast, Ugarit vanished. Byblos and Tyre partially survived but were scarred forever. Cities that had flourished for centuries were suddenly on the brink of extinction. Trade collapsed, economies failed, and entire civilizations teetered on the edge.
Ships gather on the horizon, and the storm of war comes for Troy.
Even Cyprus and parts of Anatolia were not spared. Troy 7 shows evidence of destruction. Smaller settlements along the coast were abandoned. They moved swiftly, struck with precision, and disappeared into the horizon, leaving only questions behind.
Let them come from the sea. The Nile itself will witness their defeat.
Yet Egypt resisted. At Pelusium and along the Nile Delta, Ramesses III rallied his armies and faced them at the shore. Ships clashed, warriors met in deadly combat, and though Egypt survived, the scars of these invasions would linger for generations.
Forward, my warriors! Strike swiftly, none to stand! The sound of victory!
The Sea Peoples were not just raiders, they were master sailors and tacticians. Their ships were fast, their weapons deadly. They struck quickly, hitting where cities were weakest. Spears, shields, swords in their hands, they became instruments of chaos and survival.
Steady now! Every grain, every shipment carries the fortunes of kingdoms and the risks of the sea.
Historians suggest a perfect storm of famine, migration, and political collapse led to their rise. But perhaps they were more than survivors. Perhaps they were adventurers, bold enough to take on the world's strongest kingdoms. and brave enough to vanish without a trace.
All that we built lies in ashes. Yet from this ruin, we must rise again.
Their raids triggered the Bronze Age collapse. Trade vanished, cities burned, writing disappeared, empires fell. The Mediterranean descended into darkness, yet from these ashes new civilizations would rise, stronger, more resilient, and ready to inherit a changed world.
Tyre rises once more. Let the ships return, and trade flow through our harbor as it always has.
Some cities survived or were rebuilt. Byblus, Tyre, and parts of Egypt returned to prominence. But the world had been transformed. The Bronze Age was over. The stage was set for the rise of the Iron Age and the empires that would dominate it.
Our journey takes us beyond the known world. The sea remembers our name, even if history forgets us.
The sea peoples themselves vanished into history. Some, like the Paliset, may have become the Philistines. Others disappeared entirely. They remain a legend, a mystery, and a testament to the bravery of those who dared to sail into the unknown. Their story reminds us that sometimes history's greatest forces leave only questions and a lasting impact on the world.